Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. LeIllKid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, another wonderful episode of On Screen. Big shout out to everybody who came out on the Cloak and Dagger stream earlier tonight. Now we getting into that one, that only, that spacefaring adventure, Star Trek Discovery. The finale was tonight. Wow. Man, this show, okay. All right, you know what? Real quick, in the chat, big shout out to the chat. We got Markeith Collins, we got Terrence Atkins, or is it Atkins or Akins? Terrence Atkins. I don't want to mess your name up, but we up in here. We hold it down on Star Trek Discovery. Before I get started, you guys start letting me know what your favorite moment of this episode was, and also your favorite moment of the season. While I get, the house cleaning out the way. We got some house cleaning. Big shout out to Tim I, the brand new Patreon supporter. Big shout out to you. Thank you for giving to NERDSoul, helping us out, continuing to grow, and subscribing to us and sharing that love, letting people know where you come to hang out on some geek stuff. Big shout out to all my American Gods folks. If you here checking out this show too, much love to y'all. Love all the comments and conversation going on in the chat with you guys. You guys are crazy. Y'all guys are the bomb because Anansi is that ish. Now, on top of that, of course, we get some love from KURO brand, and also reminding you guys to check out that shop.thatnerdsoul.com. Get yourself a shirt. Put something in the bucket on the Patreon. Hold it down for a brother. Now, if you can't put nothing in the bucket, use that click finger. Use them thumbs. All right, them Twitter thumbs and fingers, and share this to your folks. If they like Star Trek Discovery or Star Trek in general, go on and share it, and we can hang out together. Now, we got some folks in the comments. Let's see what we got going on. Terrence Atkins says, moment of the season, Captain Pike embracing his destiny. Of this episode, where do I start? Yeah, this episode was wow. Okay, you know what? This finale was crazy good. You know what? When I say this finale is, you know what? I'm going to go on and say it. This is a finale of flawlessness. This is a flawless finale. Yo, man, it paid off well. And for all those people talking about how could this happen in this time period, now that we've seen it, now we know. And who knows where it might go on. There are reports that there's going to be a season 3, that it's already begun production, but I haven't seen a direct quote from like a CBS person saying it. So maybe I want to say yes, because I have read it for some reputable sites. You got like Deadline and THR and stuff like that, but I haven't seen this is the CBS guy that said yes, this is coming back. So I'm thinking it's coming back. You guys can let me know in the chat. I believe so. But Terrence is right. This episode explains a lot. There is so wow. Okay, first I'm gonna get into this season, and then we'll get into this episode. So this season comes off the heels of season 1, where we found out that we got, first that there's an alternate universe, period, and that we've been saddled with a captain from that universe, and that we're stuck in that universe, and now we got to figure out a way to get back from that universe because we've been using the spore drive. It was crazy. It was intent. We saw Sonequa Martin Green acting at a high level, Michelle Yeoh bringing it like none other. And then you had other characters like Ash come through. You had even the old captain, I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now, but the old captain, he played a very good confidant at first. You know what I'm saying? Because you were like, yo, you believed in this guy. You were like, he's a rugged individualist. He doesn't quite fit into the Federation, but he's okay. And then when we get on to the other side, we're like, oh, that's why he don't fit in. You know what I'm saying? So we come off that season that's heat Flames. You got characters like Paul, Hugh, Tilly, Saru, who is a god this season. And they build up their character. They build up their camaraderie. They become a family, a unit, because when they're stuck on the other side, it's just like, yo, we on our own, we all we got. You know what I'm saying? So they became a unit. So we come into this season. I'm like, you know what? It's been flames, but is it going to continue to be flames? And this Red Angel time traveling, family connecting storyline has been emotional. It's been deep. It's been revealing as far as characters. It's been touching. And it's been a very, very complete telling of who the Federation is, who the Vulcans are, who the Klingons are, who the and then even getting the reveals of like Control, aka Ultron, Section 31. I still want a black badge. Like, there's so many things that this season does very, very right. On top of competent filmmaking, like the writing, production quality is on point. They're killing it at every turn. The heartstrings that they tug on between Amanda and Sarek, between Michael and Spock, old Madu's coming through from The Wire. You got Pike dealing with his place here since he's removed from the Enterprise. So much that could have went wrong in trying to tell essentially like 8 interweaving stories, but it's done at a high level. And this episode paid the freak off. Now, Terrence said Ash. Yes, Ash. Yo, you know what? Ash, I've always been a fan of Ash. I've always thought he was cool. I've always been like, yo, Ash, he is a good guy. You know what I'm saying? And now he's back with the Klingons, sort of. They kind of got their beef sort of squashed. You know what I'm saying? It's quelched for now. He running Section 31. Everything seemed cool. And yes, Terrence, you're right. Everyone had to sacrifice something, which is real dope. So this season is, man, it's an A+, man. Dag, like I thought last season was good, but yeah, they stepped this one up. Wow. And as much as I liked last season, you guys know I like, if you followed me from season 1, you know that I liked season 1, but this one, they stepped it up in just about every way. Production, acting, stakes. Yes, stakes. A show that has stakes in a very real way. Wow. So anyway, that said, I love this season as a whole. It's been crazy. But the episode, we got moments like when Pike is like, get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real. You know what I'm saying? You know it's real. And speaking of being real, Saru is one of the realest. See, I've always liked, Doug Jones. His acting in this suit is incredible. But boy, oh boy, is he bringing it. Because the complete swap from how he was before when he had the neck thingies, you know what I'm saying, make you scared, whatever. Look, all right, we ain't going there. All right, I'm just saying, Kelpians, they got neck stuff and make them scared, but then they fall off and they get bold. You know what I'm saying? So his acting all through season 1 and half through here in season 2 to now how he's flipped and he got a little chest out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, Saru is that real? Yo, Saru is mad real. Like he like, look, we ain't scared. He was like, look, when Control come on the screen, it's gonna look human, but it ain't human. I'm gonna need y'all to get yourself ready. You know what I'm saying? Check yourselves before we turn on this TV. All right. So Saru is someone who in this episode stepped up as a captain, became a captain, continued to be a captain, and not only a captain as someone who can like kind of just yell orders, you know what I'm saying, but also someone who can be a confidant at times to Michael, to Tilly, anyone. So not only is he a leader because he knows the direction, the decisions to make, but also because he can be that emotional rock for people without just crumbling or not knowing what to do with feelings. Yeah, Terrence said how dope. Yeah, the Enterprise. We're gonna get to the Enterprise later. You gotta let me build. You know what I'm saying? We gotta build. You know what I'm saying? Build up. So Saru was straight baller, and seeing his life in his episode, going back to his home, seeing Sirana, I think it's Sirana, his sister. Seeing her come back, seeing her, even her progression, that pays off. So that in this episode was just wow, dope. Seeing the Queen come through and using her knowledge on, being out there in the field, like, she's a queen and she out there in the dog fight. Like, that's crazy. So Saru is crazy, just talented, he has become a leader in a way that he was not ready for at all in season 1. And then to the battle, of course, then have you ever seen an on-screen television battle? Now, of course, this is streaming. They're throwing a lot of money at this show, but the battle sequences out there in space were doing some wow. They threw some money at this, and they threw some money at this in the right way. That flight path that Mike did all the way from Enterprise to Discovery was crazy fresh. Crazy fresh. Man, just it ain't even right how good it is. Now, I did want to talk about the battle in general on both ships. You had so much damage happening between the Enterprise, between Discovery, and them trying to protect each other and like shield one another from, of course, a bunch of laser and torpedo fire. And the scramble inside of the ships is something that I thought was very important that we remarked upon. And we didn't spend too much time on it, but we showed that, there's people dying here, because they could have easily just kept the camera on the bridge. You know what I'm saying? Could have been like, the bridge, those are the only people that matter. But they took some time to give us back those moments with Paul and Hugh. Give us back those moments with the engineer, and I cannot remember her name, but she was like, I got 5 lives left. You know what I'm saying? To give us those moments with those third-dairy characters, but give us those moments with those co-leads, and let them shine for a moment. Let us see how the ship is affected from normal crew. How many people are dying? How many people are getting, like sucked into the vacuum of space? Them actually showing the cost of this war outside of the bridge is something that a lot of shows would not have done. And this showed us instead of told us, and that's fresh. Big shout out to the chat. All right, so Terrence, yes, thank you. Sarana, thank you. And yes, the great fights. We getting there. We getting there. We getting there. So I do want to talk about real quick, take a break for the DOT-7s. I was like, oh shit, they got some R2s out there. They gonna go fix the ship. Come on, man. The DOT-7s. I was like, oh snap, I ain't know we had help. I'm like, where y'all been? Where y'all been all this time? We was getting shot, right? But anyway, moving on. Michael is a character that has struggled since the beginning with self-righteousness, self-sacrifice, and at sometimes self-loathing. This is an episode where she, I believe, reconciled all that, wrapped it all up, took it off of her shoulders, and allowed herself to fly. And I guess literally fly. But it was good to see her finally let go. It was good to see her and Spock finally connect. That narration from Spock at the end, boy, like for real, like I was like, go ahead, Spock, with your little emotion. Go and let that emotion flow. Go on and cut it clean and let that emotion fly. But the way Michael and her brother finally reconciled, came back together, and told each other that they loved each other, how they figured out their problem together, how they were able to let it all go. The past is the past. Right now we have each other and we're family. And that mattered. I think that mattered. And that's something that both of these characters needed to reconcile before this season was over. Especially knowing where we came from. You know, Sarek talking about Spock. We don't know where he is. He was on the other ship. He didn't come over. He was, didn't talk to Dad, didn't talk to Ma Dukes, wasn't talking to Michael. And then him saying, like, you were always with me. Just these moments of, I can't not love you because you're a family, because you're my sister. And him regarding her regarding him as little brother, just try to get a breath. Got me right here a little bit, got me right here. But I was just like, I'm cool. I ain't gonna trip. But I noticed there's some tear-jerkeriness going down. And Spock as a character, his arc this season has been fresh. And seeing him come around from the point where he was not at all interested in speaking with Michael to not only making sure he went out and flew with her and led the charge to protect his sister, but then reconciled after, that's love, yo. That's love. That's love right there. Family values for real. Yeah, Terrence, like, yo, this man, wow. Drop a tear for a brother. Now back to the onslaught. We're in the thick of it. We're fighting and everything. And last episode, you guys might have saw me say, I don't think they're going to be alone. Don't forget the Klingons. They could always come through and help. Ash could hit them up or whatever. And yes, the second we saw ships just exploding out the blue, and I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, son. I was like, the Klingons is here. It's all good. It's Federation. Klingons fighting back to back. Oh, no. Oh, no. They weren't alone. You think it was a back-to-back, a 2-2? A 2-2? Nah, bruh. Even the Baul ship showed up. Serana flying through that joint. Man, there was so much carnage, so much high-flying, ill stakes, and Serana being like, look, I ain't gonna let you go into battle by yourself no more. I was like, you know what? Hey, look, hey, girl, you know what you, girl. But this episode, this episode was good. All right, so forget that. All right, we off that. We off that. I've been telling you guys since season 1 that Michelle Yeoh has been flames for a long time. I have been a fan of Michelle Yeoh's since I was a wee tot. Now, may I have been attracted to her? Maybe just a little bit. But all I'm saying is, look, I was a little boy, man. All right, don't count now. All right, I'm looking at her completely professionally. All right, and Michelle Yeoh brings it on so many levels. You have her hardcore terrorness. You have her complete and utter love for Michael. She be trying to front, but she loved Michael. And also the part of her that enjoys being part of the Federation. She won't admit it. Because she's Terrence. She won't admit it. But there's a part of her that enjoys being part of a whole. Instead of just ruling people with an iron fist, there is a part of her that innately loves being part of a collective where we all watch out for each other, where we all fight together, where we all have each other's backs. She likes that. And she ain't gonna admit it. She wouldn't tell me, but I know it's there. And then even the moment like when her and Ma Dukes was talking to each other about essentially their shared child, And Ma Duke's like, you know, I want to thank you for saving her life so many times, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I don't save my life. She's like, girl, please. I'm from the future. I ain't stupid. I know what I'm saying. Michelle Yeoh is a true acting treasure. And from the physical to the dramatic, she has been impressive for a long time. When she was cast in this role, I was like, word up, what are we going to get? I have no idea how they're going to play her. And they have played her with so much nuance and intrigue that I am extremely ready for whatever spinoff they're going to do with her. That being said, that fight scene, and see, the reason this fight scene matters, because you could have just had a fight scene. It was like, oh, Control came in, we got to have a shootout. But no, we have the buildup where Michelle Yeoh, where JoJo is like, I don't know, Leland kind of acting weird. I don't know. Then we have her realizing that Leland ain't Leland. Then we got the shootout at the time joint with Ma Dukes is there. So that was round one. All right. And Captain Leland, aka Control, won that round. You know, he didn't get all the data, got a little bit of data, and was able to get out. You know what I'm saying? Before they bombed the low place. So he got out. He won round one. So now you got all this stuff stewing up because you know JoJo don't like losing. She lost that round. So now it's building up. And the second, every time you heard her refer to Leland, you knew she ain't like him. Came on the screen, she was like, everybody hates you. When he showed up, that's when you knew it was on. And boy, was it. And then old girl, Shorty that Aram took the little breather mask off, the shorty with the breathing, the cheek breathers or whatever. Look, hey, I don't know her name, but look, she's there and she's doing very, very comparable stuff. Both of them like, look, we both don't like this dude. You want to know why? Because Control made Aram almost kill her. So she got a score to settle. Giorgio got a score to settle. That's why this mattered. That's why there was some weight on this. And this fight scene, this 2-on-1 trading, moving back and forth, one person punching, another one kicking and sliding and slapping and everything. Yo, top notch. Even when they lost full gravity and it's kind of like rolling sideways and stuff, I got like Inception vibes. I was like, oh, like y'all ain't playing up in this. Star Trek Discovery, yo, lean in. Everybody that worked on Discovery this season, period. All right, lean in. From me to you, NERDSoul, look, y'all might get an award. I ain't made an award yet, but I'm just saying, if I make a NERDSoul award, y'all gonna get one for just being, I don't know, fresh. All right, because your stuff was on point. All right, but that fight scene was not only multi-layered, from going from guns, going from hand to hand, going anti-gravity, and then realizing, oh snap, she did all this to trap you in the spore drive joint. It was like, man, your girl, Giorgio, is a true master planner. She don't let you know all them cards, but she held him down. Now, to the chat, we got Terrence saying, yeah, Control had something for him. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Oh, Control won't going down like no bill. I'm just, hey, it's a family show, but I'm just saying, you know, Control won't going down, but it, you know, it was sweet. It was sweet. Control won't going down. Control still had the edge, but it was nice the way that they played through this, and you could see the ferocity coming at Control. They were really fighting for every single inch they got. Also, Terrence said national treasure. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh has been crazy forever. And she loves Ash too. Oh, yeah. We ain't gonna mess with that. Matter of fact, speaking of Ash, let's go on and touch on before I break up for a second. let's go and touch on the fact that Laurel came back. You know, Laurel and Ashley, you know, we already know. I'm just saying, we already know. I'm just saying she came through for her love, Vogue, aka Ash. That was nice to see them come through and see her saying that I thought I was going to have a bloodless chancellorship and being excited about it. And just, I was just like, it was almost like, and this is in no way a movie that's on par with this episode, but it's almost like that moment at BVS, Batman versus Superman, when Wonder Woman gets knocked down and that little smirk on her face before she gets up, because it's that she had that look on her face like, yeah, this is what a battle is. Now, scrap the rest of the movie. I'm just saying that moment is what lets you know that this woman is she ready. She ready. You know what I'm saying? She ready. So that was dope. Yeah, she's a true down girl, for real. So real quick, stop everything just to give a big shout out to, of course, my Patreon supporters, Thought Crimes, Enrique Carrion, Tim I. Big shout out to you guys, newest and all that, newest and freshest, all that good stuff. Also, big shout out to everybody who checked out the Cloak and Dagger earlier this evening. If you watch Cloak and Dagger and you missed it, it's on the channel for the replay now. You can watch it whenever, watch it tomorrow, watch it next week, watch it next month, whatever. Whenever you want to watch it, you can watch it. But also, big shout out to KURO brand for holding us down pretty much every single episode. And also shout out to myself, shop.thatnerdsoul.com. Pick yourself up a shirt like this, the X shirt with all my X-Men faves on there. And you got a NERDSoul shirt on there. Get a little baby tee, all that, everything you need. But let's get on back. Let's get back to the real. Let's slide that out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, hey, Patreon, all that. Yeah, do that. But let's get back to the episode. The Enterprise in this show could have been cheesy, corny fan service. And it was every bit as good as it did not have the right to be. And I love this show for it. When I saw Enterprise show up at the end of last season, I was like, I don't know, guys. I don't know if you want to do this. Y'all are like rubbing up against the timeline. But they worked it out in a way where we got to see the camaraderie between both crews. We got to see the difference between both ships and both crews. And we got to see just enough action and just enough of the ship concerning the Enterprise without seeming like they were doing it as a crutch. And that's some proper handling of, like nostalgic, I guess, nostalgic characters or nostalgic things in a show. Because you could have just, rode Enterprise the whole season and be like, hey guys, look, it's the Enterprise. Remember that? Isn't it great? But they used it in a way where it was seen when necessary. And when it was necessary, they showed us why it was necessary, not telling us. Because a lot of times you'll see in shows where they tell you it's important and you're like, yeah, but I don't feel like it's important. They showed us why it's important. Enterprise was here. Enterprise was there. Enterprise was here. You know what I'm saying? Well, one, because Pike was there, but also because now we're sharing information. We are the only two ships that really know what's going on. And they made it happen in a way where it could have been cheesy and it ended up being straight fire. Seeing them hold each other's backs, seeing them flying together, battling the phasers or whatever flying all over the place. Wow. And that ship took a beating, like straight up. We'll get to it in a second. We'll get to our falling in a second. But when that torpedo came through, I thought for sure that we were going to have an Enterprise that was dead in the water. But even the heroics that were done after that moment just shows so much about the Enterprise and its crew. And just the Enterprise, wow. Like, not only is the ship still flames, but the Discovery being such a more technologically improved ship, it showed that old girl can still keep up, still help out, still keep up. So she won't no little crusty old ship. You know what I'm saying? The Enterprise still got a little oomph in her. Real quick, I want to say, oh yeah, that part, it was beautifully done and all the way around. Yeah, definitely, Terrence, you right on that one. The Red Angel's last flight, I thought was beautiful. The effects on it, and they handled it in a way where they showed how long and how hard it was to do without like drawing it out. But from that to Spock getting the new suit, to the battle, to everything in space, to the way they represented her jumping through the moments in time, flawless, beautiful. Even the moment where we all realized, because I love how they did it in a way where we all realized, oh, you did all these jumps. Like it, man, wow. Like where we realized, oh, you did all these jumps now. This is when it, wow, man. Wow. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Now, since we're coming to the end, I did want to give a shout out to Our Fallen. Aram, not only a touching end, but a well thought out end. Seeing how she accesses her memories, seeing how she keeps her memories, and seeing how they regarded and remarked on her life in the following episode shows how much the crew members mean to each other and mean to the Federation by association. And then the Admiral, we lost the Admiral. I thought we lost Ash for a second, but we didn't. But we lost the Admiral in a way that was heroic, and in a way that I really like the Admiral, man. I liked her since season 1. She's got it where it counts. You know what I'm saying? She's smart, she's witty, and she does what's right, regardless of how the Federation feels. So, man, it's bad to see him go, but I think it serves the story in a way where they weren't cheap deaths. They mattered in a way where this is something that this character would honestly do. Like even seeing Aram fight so hard against Control to keep control of her own body. And then seeing the Admiral knowing that there's no other way, but we've got to protect the ship. And not willing to sacrifice anyone else's life but hers is it's kind of what makes you an Admiral. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have easily ordered some peon to do it. And when I say peon, I mean regular staff member, like a cadet. You know what I'm saying? Like Cadet Johnson. Get down there and go. But she took it upon herself. True leaders, are in there with you, in it with you. And she's been dope, man. She's been dope. So to Our Fallen, big, pour out a little liquor for Aram and for your girl, the Admiral. I can't remember her last name, but you guys will know in the chat or in the comments. Tara says, which also makes me excited for the next season because now they're free to tell their own stories, free of having to explain things for canon as well. Yes, I was going to get to this. This is something that I've been calling for in a lot of media and stories in general. Jumping to the future and telling something. And here's why. 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago, you guys will check me on this. 2 or 3 years ago, Valiant Comics or Valiant Entertainment came out with a comic book series called what was it, 4000 AD or something like that. I think it was 4000 AD or 3000, either 3000 or 4000 AD, something like that. Like 4001, something like that. And you guys, I'll look it up real quick. But I think it was 4000 AD. And what they do in this storyline is they jump in the future approximately like 2000 years, and they tell a story about like Rye or any of the other characters, right? And the dope thing about doing that is you don't have to adhere to any particular rules at this time, because you're 2,000 years removed from what's going on now. I've called for it in Star Wars. I've called for it in Star Trek before. I've called for it in I guess sort of the MCU, but I was really calling for it in X-Men because they were just screwing things up. But yes, 4001 AD, excuse me. So 4001 AD is where Valiant Comics goes into the future, like 2,000 years. Of course, you know, it's 2019. But, you know, if you go that far in the future, you don't really have to worry about things that go on now because you're not, it's 2,000 years, man. It's been how many grandkids, great, you know, so you don't have to worry about that continuity at all because they are long dead. Just like doing something for like Star Wars, I would like to either go 2,000 years in the future or go to do Knights of the Old Republic because it's so far in the past that you don't really have to worry about screwing up. It's not like Yoda's going to walk past the screen, you know, if you do Knights of the Old Republic, because it's, well, Yoda, how old is he? He ain't that old, right? Because some people say 1,000 years, some people say 1,000 generations. So it depends on what you read and when you read it, but it's approximately 1,000 or 1,000 generations before the episode 1. So you can do anything you want there. It's not gonna mess up Obi-Wan's story because it's 1,000 years before it, man. You can't touch that. Or if you did like 4001 AD, something like this, where Star Trek Discovery seems to be jumping way into the future. Now, one, we know society still exists, civilization still exists, and now you can do whatever you want, and you don't have to be tied or attached to any continuity at all because you are, I don't know, however many light years or I don't know, 1,000 years in the future with a mama. So you got her, you got your mama, and you got your crew. So we got all the crew that we know, and we got Spock back here where he's supposed to be in his regular time, and you got everybody in the future, and they can do future Star Trek stuff. And it's a beautiful way to handle it, and it's perfect when they start doing the whole inquiry of like, you know, what happened and were you there? And Spock was like, well, I think we should do, you know, I don't know, you know, Article 37, Section C or something, whatever. He's like, can't nobody talk about Discovery. Can't nobody talk about, just pretend it never happened. I'm like, it makes sense because all the people that were crying about, well, we ain't never hear about Discovery. Well, now here's why. All right. So stop. All right. Hush and enjoy the story. All right. But man, I love this episode. I love this season. This show is better than a whole lot of shows. And I'll say this. In my humble opinion, this show is better than a show that comes on HBO. Yeah, I said it. I'll just leave it right. I'll leave it right there. I don't want to fight y'all. I'm just saying it's better. This show deserves a whole slew of awards. This show, I think, is being discounted and overlooked because it's behind a paywall, which it should not be. But darn if it ain't some good acting, some good effects, some good lighting, some good everything. Show is the future flavor. No pun intended, since they went to the future. But this show is incredible, front to end. No doubts about it. This show is incredible, and if you ain't checking for Star Trek Discovery, you need to be checking for Star Trek Discovery because wow. So big shout out to the chat. Terrence said everyone had the story on point. Big shout out to Terrence. Big shout out to Marquise Collins. Room Plays, what up? Yes, I'm done. I'm at the end of my reaction. I'm sorry, man. Look, but guess what? The DVR function is on, so you can rewind me back. See, I'm right now. You're watching now, but you can rewind to then and watch me react. But I will stick around for a second. Rune, since you're here, let me know your favorite moment of this episode and your favorite moment of this season. And to you, Markeith, to you, Terrence, and to you, Rune, who's your MVP of this season? Who's your MVP? You know, who comes out? So while y'all are thinking about that, I'm gonna think about I got a couple for the MVP, but I'm gonna switch up real quick. Of course, reminds you guys you can find me at that NERDSoul, ThatNerdSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. At me, follow me, subscribe to this channel. Holla at me if you want to talk Wu-Tang, you want to talk Star Wars, Star Trek, if you want to talk anything about this geek life, I'm down with it. I've been covering Doom Patrol, which someone asked me earlier on my podcast. So you can check wherever you get your podcast. Just search NERDSoul, NERDSoul. You can find it there. This weekend, I will be covering American Gods 2 times. I will be talking about Shadow Moon, myself, and Solar Gray from Back in the Dead Productions. And on Sunday, we'll be covering the brand new episode 7. Yes, I know the episode leaked, but I did not watch the leak. Why? Because I want to have something new to watch on Sunday. Then this week coming up, of course, we got Avengers Endgame coming. I will be covering that. There'll be an interview. There will be a review on Tuesday. But with all that said, a big shout out once again to Enrique Carrion, amazing comic book writer who does Phenomic, which is PHENOMIK. Definitely check it out. It's a free web comic. You should definitely read it. It's pretty fun, and I like the way they handle their future cast systems, sort of, if you will. But he's a Patreon supporter. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Thought Crimes Patreon supporters. They're on YouTube. Check out Thought Crimes. They do a ton of news commentary. They do a ton of documentaries. They do animation. Those guys do not play at all. And big shout out to Tim I, new Patreon supporter. Big shout out to supporting the kid so we could do more cool stuff. Also, this weekend coming up, we got Lounging with Marquita Lestar, and I will be running down most likely the Fox News stuff with slander in Nipsey Hussle's name, some more dumb stuff from your boy Kodak Black. We'll be getting into some STEM field stuff and some other Twitter garbage that's happening in these streets that we got to get into. Hopefully it won't be nothing from like Kardashians or Jeffree Star, but we'll see what happens. Now, all that out of the way. Announcements done. Now, let's see. Room Play says, Terrence Acton says, Captain Pike for me is the MVP. Word up. You know what? I'm not mad at that. Captain Pike has been more than solid this season. Someone who comes in to a situation where he didn't have to really care about these people because they ain't his crew, but he stepped in, assumed the role, and operated as if this was his own ship. He gave them the same comfort, the same care, the same protection, and the same consideration that he would have done to the Enterprise, and I salute him for that. Let's see. Big shout out to Skyfall. What up? What up? Nice to see you. Room Play Spock at the end though. Yo, Spock, man, he cut that. Yo, he got rid of the Grizzly. You know what I'm saying? He was lifting rough, rugged, and raw, and then he cut off the Grizzly, and now he's back to being. He's real now. He's real. He's like, look, I'm gonna get fresh. New Enterprise, new me. New year, new me. That's what I'm doing. So, let's see. Terrence Atkins says, I'm a new fan for real. Thank you. Hey, yo, glad you rolled through. Keep on conversating. Let's talk down in the comments, all that good stuff. So for me, favorite moment of this episode had to either be the space jump or the fight with Michelle Yeoh. That's tough. I don't know which one I can take. Either I'm gonna go space jump. I love Michelle Yeoh, but that space jump just looked cool. It just looked cool. And I don't even have my screen. My TV ain't even that big. It's big, but it ain't that big. I'm imagining if someone had like a 70-inch OLED display, that would have been stupid, son. They might have had to arrest, or at least charge Star Trek Discovery as a TV show for visual crack. But anyway, slide out of the way. Favorite moment this season would probably have to be the moment when Michael finally met up with Spock. It was something that we have been building up, and we finally saw the payoff of what the relationship is really like, and where they left off. and where they unfortunately have to pick up. So I like that. That might have been my favorite moment of just when they saw each other. MVP, MVP. Dang, you know what? MVP, I might have to leave that up in the air, man. I don't know. Michael has been strong. Michelle Yeoh, Giorgio's been strong. I don't know, man. I might have to give it to Giorgio. Giorgio's the one that let Michael get Spock out of there before Control went, or maybe before Leland went crazy. Man, I might have to give it to Giorgio, man. Yeah, I think I might have to give it to Giorgio. But with that said, you got all right, so all right, Room Play says you like half the episode. So at least, they came out with a 50-50 for you. Hopefully, that worked out kind of aight. But guys, that is my time. Thank you for hanging with me. Don't forget ThatNERDSoul. Make sure to follow me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Holla at me, whatever is most comfortable for you. Holla at me there. And make sure right here to share this out to your peeps. If they like Star Trek Discovery, share it to them. Hit that thumbs up. Now, you can hit that thumbs down. But if you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send Control after you. I'm going to tell you like this. You don't want that. You don't want that. Now, make sure to subscribe. Share this to your friends, like I said before. But, of course, keep the conversation going down in the comments. I'll make sure to check out y'all comments, talk to y'all, and keep it cool every single day. So until next week with Cloak and Dagger and Doom Patrol on podcast and all kinds of stuff, we gonna keep it cool as long as you keep it cool. Well, we're gonna keep it cool anyway because we just down like that. But of course, before we bounce, thank you to everyone in the chat. Malkeith Collins, thank you to Terrence Atkins, thank you to Room Plays, thank you to I know there was someone else in here, Skyfall. Big shout out to Skyfall and Alan Lewis, Little Miss Chocolate, Thought Crimes, all you guys. So from us to you, thank you for checking us out. And of course, stay extra cool. Stay cool because y'all know the rules. Until then, peace.